Hi there. There's only 1 month left. There's only 1 month left before I will leave the house here. It's a mess in my house because I'm trying to sell everything. And that's because I'm going to live nomadic. This month I will give you an insight in my old domestic life. To be more precise, the transition of going from a normal domestic life into a nomadic one. So I'm really happy. I finally found a spot where I can show you some chess in my neighborhood, because in my garden there's actually a party going on, and that, well, I love partying, don't get me wrong, but there's no partying for you on the chessboard today. White starts d4, knight f6, I'm playing white here, c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, e4, castle kingside. And this is a little trick, because if you play f3 here, there's a possibility black will apply c6 and then we'll strike in the center with d5. So to overcome that, I always play bishop e3 first, because there's no knight g4 yet. d6, now knight g4 is threatened because it's protected the square, so I take it away. And this is the starting point of the Samish variation of the King's Indian defense. Black plays knight c6, which means he's going to play the Pano variation. Knight ge2, a6, queen d2, rook b8, knight c1, e5, d5, knight d4, knight b3, and now we have a little trick, because after c5, which he played, you take en passant, and if you play here, I have to admit I forgot about the trick, but when I analyzed the game later, I found that the best move here isn't very obvious. So I was thinking about a takes b3, b takes c6, and rook a3 with a decent position, but I found that this is probably equal. While in this position there's actually a better move than recapturing the knight, and that is c7. While after knight takes d2, I would regain my queen and win a rook on b8 at the same time, and that's not a good thing. So black has to take here, and now the b file is not opened. which gives an advantage to black. Also, square d5 is not covered with this pawn, and that will turn out to be an advantage. Well, he didn't play like this. He took immediately b takes c6, which is an interesting pawn sacrifice and actually the main line. Knight takes d4, e takes d4, bishop takes d4, d5 is very dangerous, so just look out when you face this variation. C takes d, c takes d. Then you have to play e5 because, okay, white is in a dangerous position. White has won a pawn. However, his king is still in the center of the board, and it's getting dangerous. There's pressure from this rook down the e-file, and this rook is already looking at the castled king, if it will go long. So best thing is to close the center and try to make as many useful developing moves as possible. Black plays knight d7. Okay, we have to defend this pawn with f4, f6, and now still we can't take because it will not give us anything but an open file. I played the main line, which goes e6, rook e8, f5, knight e5, in this position I honestly think that taking this pawn would have been better. He didn't do it because, I mean, the pawn structure for black will be completely ruined, although it will cost me one pawn. I will probably have the better position for the remainder of the game. So he played knight e5, and here this is my exercise for today. I would like you to choose between two moves, and this is a practical choice, and I will give you the answer later. So the two moves to consider are bishop c5 with the idea of e7 and bishop a7 with the idea of disrupting the rook and going to c5 anyway. So, which is better? In the game, I first saw bishop c5, and then I started to alter this idea by playing this first. But is bishop a7 useful? Is it useful to draw this rook there? Because the idea is that this pawn will be unprotected when the rook is here. So, that said, I played bishop a7 and the computer doesn't approve. So I played bishop a7 and my opponent went to a8, and now after bishop c5 I have a very good position. He should have played this, but it's psychologically more difficult to play. So I'm sorry for the bad answer, but I'm sorry I don't know what's really better. I hope you enjoyed the puzzle here, and see you next time. Look, now I'm looking at myself, and that's really strange, because I'm not looking at you, I'm looking at me. Look. Okay. Okay, bye.